"You've cried in the darkness, haven't you?" asked the silence. "Why me?" Felt the weight of a world that never promised to be gentle. And somewhere beneath all that pain, you wondered if anyone heard. She did. Anandamayi Ma, the joy-permeated mother. And when they asked her, "Why do we suffer?" she smiled. Not because suffering was small, but because she saw what we could not. There was a man once. His face was wet with tears. He had lost everything he thought made him whole. He came to Ma, collapsed at her feet, and asked, "Ma, why does life hurt so much?" She didn't look away from his pain. She let him cry. And when his breath finally steadied, she spoke words that would later be recorded in Matri Vani, the sacred words of the mother. She said, "The thorn that pierces your foot is not your enemy. It makes you stop. It makes you look down. It makes you remember you are walking." We suffer because we have forgotten. Forgotten what we are. Forgotten where we came from. Forgotten whose breath moves in our chest. You see, suffering is not punishment. It is a love letter written in fire. The divine does not wound you to destroy you. The divine wounds you to wake you. One evening, as the sun painted the Ganges gold, a young devotee sat beside Ma. His voice trembled as he asked, "But Ma, if God loves us, why does he allow pain?" Ma smiled that gentle smile of hers, the one that held oceans of compassion. And she told him a story, later preserved in As the Flower Sheds Its Fragrance. She said, when the child plays in the dirt, absorbed, laughing, the mother lets him play. But when the sun sets and danger comes, she calls him sharply. Sometimes she even pulls him by the arm. Not out of anger, out of love. That pull? That ache in your chest? That loneliness that has no name? That is her calling you home. You were never meant to find peace in what breaks. In bodies that age. In loves that fade. In dreams that crumble like sand. You were meant to break so you would stop building castles there. At the Kankal ashram, people would come carrying their griefs like stones. A woman once sat before Ma, shoulders shaking, asking through her sobs, "How do we bear it, Ma? How do we survive the losses?" Ma's eyes, dark and infinite, held hers. And she spoke words that Bithika Mukherjee would later document in Life and Teachings of Sri Anandamayi Ma. She said, "This world is a river. And you? You keep trying to stand still in it. Of course you suffer. Suffering comes when we cling. To people we call mine. To moments we call perfect. To versions of ourselves we call me. But the river moves. And the tighter you hold, the more it hurts." The woman's tears fell harder. "So what do we do, Ma?" Ma reached out, touched her hand with fingers light as petals. "We let go," she whispered. "Not because we are weak, but because we are held." Then Ma closed her eyes, and in that sacred silence, she spoke words recorded in Sadvani. She said, "You think you are the wave, afraid of crashing. But you are the ocean. The wave rises. The wave falls. The ocean remains." There was another time. A scholar came to Ma, his mind full of questions, his heart empty of peace. He studied scriptures. He knew the philosophies. But his suffering remained. Ma looked at him with eyes that saw through lifetimes. And she said something that shattered his understanding. She said, "Suffering cracks the shell of the ego. That small, frightened voice that says, I am this body. I am this story. I am alone." And beneath that shell, light. The same light that burns in every star. The same breath that moves every leaf. The same love that has never, not once, left you. One monsoon morning, a woman arrived at the ashram. She had lost her child. Her world had ended. She fell at Ma's feet and wept. "Ma, I have lost everything. Why did this happen to me?" Ma didn't speak immediately. She let the woman weep until there were no tears left. Only then, with a tenderness that seemed to embrace all of existence, Ma spoke words that Baiji would preserve in Mother as Revealed to Me. She said, "When you lose someone you love, when sickness comes, when fear chokes your throat in the middle of the night, you are not being punished. You are being hollowed, made into a flute, so the divine can sing through you." Ma would sit with the broken-hearted for hours. She wouldn't rush them. She'd let them weep, rage, question. And then, softly, like rain on dust, she'd say, as recorded in words of Sri Anandamayi Ma, "Let it come. Let it go. You are not this pain. You are the space in which it moves. The witness. The awareness. The silent one who watches the storm and does not drown." There were nights when seekers would ask her, "But Ma, how long will this suffering last?" And Ma would share a secret, a holy secret whispered in the lamplit corners of Kenkel. She would say, "It only lasts as long as we resist it. The moment we bow, the moment we whisper, 'Thy will, not mine,' something shifts. Not in the world. In us. The pain may remain, but we are no longer at war with it. We are vast enough to hold it. And in that vastness, not the peace of everything is fine. The peace of I'm not this. I am more." A young seeker once looked up at Ma with desperate eyes. "Ma, who am I really beneath all this suffering?" Ma's face became radiant, luminous. And she spoke words that Richard Lanoy would later record in Anandamayi, Her Life and Wisdom. She said, "The body will hurt. The heart will break. The mind will despair. But you, the real you, cannot be touched. You are the sky. Suffering is weather. And weather always passes. So why do we suffer?" Ma would say to those gathered around her, "Because we are being prepared, refined, returned. Every loss is a loosening. Every disappointment, a dethroning of the false king called ego. Every tear, a baptism. Every wound, a doorway. And one day, after all the falling, after all the questions, after all the nights you thought you wouldn't survive, you will understand. Suffering was never the enemy. It was the chisel. And you? You were always the sculpture, hidden inside the stone, waiting to be freed." There's a story the old devotees tell, of a man who came to Ma broken beyond repair. He asked her, voice barely a whisper, "What should I do with my pain, Ma?" Ma took his hand, looked into his eyes, and with the tenderness of 1,000 mothers, as witnessed by all who were present, she said, "You are not broken, my child. You are breaking open." And in that opening, the divine rushes in, like light through a cracked door, like breath into drowning lungs, like love that was always there, just waiting for you to stop running, to stop pretending, to stop hiding, and finally come home. Breathe. You are loved. You always were.